All right. I want to talk to you about a word. A word that I think is ruining a lot of marketing today. And here's the funny thing about it. It's a word that sounds incredibly responsible. It sounds productive. It sounds like the kind of thing smart marketers would say. The word is should. As in, we should start a podcast. We should post more. Or we should be on TikTok. We should launch a merch. We should run some ads. We should start a YouTube channel. And here's the thing. None of those things are bad ideas. That's what makes this so dangerous. The problem isn't that they are bad ideas. The problem is that nobody ever finishes the sentence. Nobody says, we should start a podcast because. They just stop at should. And I think that's happening because marketers today are exposed to so many ideas, so many more ideas than ever before. We go to conferences. We listen to podcasts. We scroll TikTok. We watch YouTube. We read newsletters. And all day long, we're being told what we should be doing. Someone says, you need a personal brand. Someone else says, you should be posting every day. Someone else says, email is where the money is. Then another person says, short form is the future. And then all of a sudden, you've collected this giant pile of tactics, but you haven't built any strategy. And those are not the same thing. In fact, I think one of the biggest mistakes marketers make is confusing activity with strategy. Because strategy isn't really deciding what to do. A lot of times, strategy is deciding what not to do. I see this all the time in the firearms industry. And honestly, I get it. I understand why. We have so many restrictions around marketing and what around marketing that when somebody finds something that seems to work, everybody jumps on it. One company has a little bit of success with a certain style of content. Boom, everybody does it. It becomes boring overnight. One company finds a platform that isn't completely throttling them. Everybody rushes over there. One company will launch some initiative that gets a little bit of traction, and suddenly the entire industry is doing the exact same thing. And because people aren't asking, why did that work? They're asking, what are they doing? Those are very different questions. And honestly, I've been guilty of this too. There have been plenty of times in my career where someone brought up doing a podcast, for example. And I love podcasts. I genuinely want to do one. And I think I'd probably enjoy it. But every time the conversation came up, I kept coming back to the same question. Why? Not why do podcasts exist, but and not why are they popular, because they obviously are. Why should we have a podcast? What problem does it solve? What value does it create? What are we willing to stop doing in order to do it very well? Because nobody talks about the hidden costs of saying yes. Every yes creates future obligations. And we love to learn that the hard way. A podcast isn't just a podcast. It's planning. It's recording. It's editing. publishing, promotion, consistency. It's an entire system that deserves and needs a lot of attention and bandwidth. And that's true for almost everything in marketing. A YouTube channel isn't just a YouTube channel. And an email newsletter isn't just a newsletter. Your LinkedIn strategy isn't just a LinkedIn strategy. Every one of those decisions creates future work. And eventually, those obligations, they pile up. Then something interesting happens. Marketing teams start to feel overwhelmed. Oh, surprise. Not because they don't have enough ideas, but because they have too many. And most marketing teams don't have a creative problem. They have a prioritization problem. And that's where the word should becomes very dangerous. Not because it points you in the wrong direction, because it points you in every direction. Think about the graveyard of half-finished marketing initiatives sitting inside most companies. The podcast that lasted 6 episodes. The YouTube channel that died in 3 months. The LinkedIn page that literally nobody updates. Or the email newsletter nobody even sends to or optimizes the sends. The social platform everyone forgot about existed. Right? And I was actually in a meeting recently looking at some new analytics from a new platform we're looking at. And one thing that surprised me while looking at this was how much engagement our brand was getting on X.com, a platform we barely pay attention to. And for a second, my brain immediately went there. We should be doing more on X. And we should, but then I caught myself. Should we? Right now. And why? What's the strategy around getting on X more? What problems will we be solving? What are we willing to stop doing in order to make room for it? And is it worth it to add another person to take care of that or add that onto somebody's plate? Because strategy isn't finding more things to do. It's eliminating distractions. It's choosing. It's being decisive. And then sticking with that long enough to see if it works. So maybe the better question isn't what should we be doing? Maybe the better questions are, why would this work? What problem does this solve? What are we willing to stop doing to make room for it? And how will we know if it worked? Because if we can't answer those questions, we probably shouldn't be doing it. Every marketer has a list of things they should be doing. The companies that win aren't the ones doing all of them. They're the ones that understand which ones actually matter for their brand. And I think that's why the word should is so dangerous. Not because it's wrong, but because it sounds right. And if you're not careful, you can spend years chasing things you should be doing, instead of focusing on the things that actually move the business forward. That's what I got for you today. I hope you enjoyed it. I find that topic very interesting, and I've lived through it. I've seen it so many times. It's incredibly debilitating. I hope that you can relate to it. I hope that you maybe got some value out of this video. If so, leave a comment. I hope you'll be obliged to subscribe. Either way, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week.